Hi, my name is Cecilia MAIDA, and many of you know me as the founder of PAWS Across America on Facebook, and I have the group Animal Rights Media Lady, and many of you have seen my video like calling all activists where I'm like, are you tired of being busted? Are you tired of being blocked? And I was looking for media stories, etc. I've done several other videos since then. Anyway, and I went ahead and started a YouTube channel, which is the Animal Welfare Media Lady. So I invite you to go there because I do a lot of videos just like this from a very educational point of view. A lot of people don't even understand how the whole political process works and how that affects animals. I actually have people coming to me saying, you know, please get the politics out of animal welfare. And I'm like going, wow, you have not watched my videos and you have not been paying attention to the campaign, because nothing is going to change in any community across America if you don't change the laws. And that's what we're all about. PAWS Across America is all about advocacy, trying to get the laws changed. And what that takes is for the people to rally together in large numbers, and so the elected officials see you and they understand that you are not going to vote them in if they don't do what you want them to do. And so that's what we're here about today. It's September of 2016. I'm happy to say in June 2015 we had our first rally, and many states participated, and we had great results in the states that did. But sadly, many states, there was no interest at all. And then after the fact, people are going, where was mine? Where was mine? So I just wanted to make clear, PAWS Across America is a grassroots movement, and it's basically only going to be as successful as you guys make it. And I know everybody goes, well, I don't know how to do a rally. I don't have the time. So that's why in the About section, if you go to the PAWS Across America main group, you can read the About section. I give a little step-by-step. If you want to do a rally, you know, you've got to just get permission to be where you want to rally. And if you go somewhere public, like a park or something, you maybe just want to talk to your city officials, and or even, your police department if you have a question, and ask them. We're going to be adding an over freeway banner here in the Sacramento area. Last time we were at the Capitol, but this time we are going to do one probably like at a PetSmart, and then add the banner over the freeway, and we got permission from the Highway Patrol. So anyway, you can imagine putting honk for, no kill, and hearing all the people honking. It's going to be amazing. And we had some great results down in El Paso, where Patty Chavez did a really great job. We were seeing PAWS Across America being talked about on Telemundo in Spanish, which was very critical, because sometimes this is a cultural issue. People come from other countries where they don't treat animals as we do in America, and sometimes that's as simple as the problem is just communicating to them that, in America we treat animals differently, etc. And so now she's Spanish speaking, so a lot of people that speak Spanish, which I can't reach unfortunately, now are aware of PAWS Across America and the importance of how we're going to treat animals, and to get involved with this, and let's get these laws changed, and let's help animals, all animals, all the way from farm animals to the dogs and cats to any animal that, needs any help to stop the suffering. And we don't all have to be vegans to make this happen, and I support vegans and non-vegans alike because of the fact we're all animal lovers, and this isn't about us being a specific way. PAWS Across America is whatever you are, is what PAWS is. So it's grassroots, and it takes you to get involved. You start your own rally. If you don't want to do one in a big city, you can literally get your family, and you can do one in your neighborhood. You can take pictures in your front yard, post them on Facebook, do a live rally in your front yard, put signs in your front yard saying the Smiths vote animal welfare candidates only. There's so many ways you can participate. You can share the message. Oh, and by the way, we do have some new t-shirts that just came up for the upcoming rally on October the 8th on a Saturday, which many of you said you couldn't attend the last one on June 15th because it was during the week, but that was critical because we wanted to be in front of like the state capitol and office buildings where congressional representatives were. But we're going to do a Saturday because right now it's all about getting to the voters before they go to the polls, and make them understand how their votes, if they do not educate, will correlate to animal cruelty in their communities. And this is very, very critical. Anyway, but we do have t-shirts on sale right now, and they're totally cute. Donna Quinn of New York, one of our team leaders in New York, designed it, and they're just really awesome. So you can go to my Facebook page and or the PAWS Across America Facebook page, and or the New York PAWS Across America, and you can order your t-shirt and before the rally. But the deadline will be September the 17th, so make sure you get your order in before then. But they're really cute. We used a pit bull because they have the worst reputation whenever the sweetest dogs on the universe, just because some sorry low-life people decided to fight him, and he's got a little teardrop. And anyway, it says that, you know, all 50 states pledge to vote animal welfare candidates only, and, you know, the doggy's crying, wanting you to go do it. And so what he's telling you to do is the little dog and all the dogs that are, and cats and animals that are suffering, is they're telling you to please educate before you go vote blind party lines, because it hasn't been working. You can see the suffering that's taking place, and the only thing that's going to change is when you change how you vote. And that goes back, we go back now to the tools you have available. The Humane Society scorecard. I know a lot of you don't like the Humane Society, but this is the Humane Society Legislative Fund, which tracks the voting history of how your reps vote on animal welfare issues. This is just one specific year, and for a lot of people that don't even know how the political process works, these are your federal reps. These are listed by state, different categories here. Regarding horse slaughter, domestic violence, so that women can bring animals into shelters, etc. So this year, that was certain votes, and the most important one on this one was the Endangered Species Act. And if you see any X's, I don't know if you can see that here, you'll have to go to www.hslf.org, write that down, www.hslf.org, and pull up several years, but on this particular, the most recent year, they voted on the Endangered Species Act, but anywhere you see an X, those are legislators that voted saying, we don't need the Endangered Species Act. And then you guys are voting these guys in. And I mean, and without the Endangered Species Act, it's serious. I mean, the wolves can't be protected. The bears, the grizzlies, they're trying to hunt and kill in Yellowstone right now. The black bears in Florida that, you know, the Fish and Wildlife just allowed trophy hunting. The only thing that stopped them from doing it the second year was the Endangered Species Act. And this is a traditional, and I'm not slamming a party, this is what you find by educating. Traditionally, the Republicans are generally the ones who want to do away with the Endangered Species Act. I actually saw on the presidential race on TV, Donald Trump say one of the first things I'm going to do when I get into office is to do away with the Endangered Species Act. I have been slammed, attacked, slandered, you name it, everything for making that statement because I did not have a video clip to back it up. But I will say, I'm not a liar. I saw him say it on TV. I did try to rewind and provide you a video clip, but unfortunately my VCR would not let me go back. So I did not lie. I saw him say it, and why would I lie when it is traditionally, go look at all the X's on the current Humane Society scorecard when almost all Republicans are wanting the Endangered Species Act to go away. So if Donald Trump is the Republican nominee, then he would want to make the Endangered Species Act go away. So I did not lie on that comment. So therefore, we do not have a voting history on Donald Trump's. All we know is so far I heard him say that, and I did not lie, and that we see his sons posing with endangered species that they have killed on trophy hunts. I have been told that the elephant was there to feed the village. I've been slammed and slandered for that too. But all I know is that I've seen his sons posing with leopard and rhinos, and I don't really think that's what people in villages eat. And so I think that that's just their PR group trying to cover for the fact his sons are avid trophy hunters. So anyway, you can make your own decisions on that type deal. But I will also add to it, the equation here is that I was very dismayed when I saw people in Iowa actually vote back into office a Senator Steve King. You might recognize this. Let me get close. This was a petition that was circulating that many of you saw, and it was the horrible senator from Iowa that, and everybody used the U sign, used the dog's face, that everybody was upset because of the fact that they say U sign is fake. U sign gave me the petition. I told them, you all think it's fake, so give it to me, and I'm going to get it to the targets. So here is the petition for Senator King of Iowa. I think a few people would like to see this man out of office, but not the people in Iowa. Here's the problem. 963 pages, 41,000 signers, 2 print cartridges, and 2 reams of paper. It cost me over, well, like probably $150 to print this, and I'm going to be getting it to the media, but the people in Iowa voted him in as their Republican nominee for the 2016 election. Are you seeing the problem here? My representatives here in El Dorado County in Northern California, Frank Bigelow, Republican in El Dorado County. He co-sponsored the deadly ag-gag bill for the state of California along with 7 other Republicans. Tom McClintock, my Republican, he also says he's Tea Party. He basically stated the Endangered Species Act needs to be done away with, just as Donald Trump said on TV. And he also believes the wild horses don't need to be protected because there's too many of them on there and the lands can't sustain them. But wow, they're taking them off of federally protected lands. They have 50,000 of them in a corral, and they're putting cattle on there. So it can handle the cattle that they're going to graze, but not the wild horses that were federally protected to be able to be there. Are you starting to see what's happening here? Anyway, so there's a theme here, and I don't endorse or slam candidates, nor do we allow that in PAWS across America. It's about educating. So what we find is what we talk about here. And you can call me a lefty, you can call me a liar, you can call me anything you want, but I go by the voting history of what I see these people doing, is what I'm talking to you about. So anyway, if you want to not harm animals, you need to educate before voting blind party lines, because that's what's killing animals. And if you don't, just look across the states and see, you know, like down in Georgia, you know, it's horrible there, you know, Arkansas, Alabama. But if you go look at your scorecard right here, I mean, Arkansas, Alabama, Arizona, all you have 2 Republicans on your federal, and they all have zeros. Georgia, you have all Republicans, federal and House representatives, that have 0s to 22. And so you wonder why you have a problem with animals over there and why you can't get them off the chains. And just for you guys that don't know, this is your federal reps, and you always have 2 of those. And then you have your House representatives, which are on this page of the Humane Society Legislative Scorecard, which is here. You can download it, www.hslf.org. Please write that down, www.hslf.org, and go look at how your candidates vote before you walk up and pull the lever at your voting place this November, because animals are dying waiting for you to do this. This is a critical thing. In Texas, I've been begging people to please rally, take to the streets, but they said to me, you're asking us to vote against our rights to bear arms. We can't, it won't happen in Texas. So all I have to say to anybody that's out there voting, if it means more to you to have a gun on your hip at Starbucks than it does to protect the animals, then more power to you. You can explain that to the animals in your community when they suffer. And because of the fact that traditionally the party that follows traditionally is animal welfare friendly is the Democrat Party, and the Republican Party is traditionally the party that's voting against animals. It's all right here in a scorecard. That's not me saying it. It's all backed up there. So you do have some Republicans with high scores, but a lot of times you have to be careful even then. But they're like needles in a haystack. But a lot of times they'll vote pro-animal on like dogs and cat issues, but you know, then they go against the farm animal issues. And this is what we've been finding. That's what we're trying to get people to understand and see. And then everybody wonders, well, who am I? I'm the lady. You know, everybody knows I'm not online very often. That's why I do these videos. I travel the country as the poster child for polycystic kidney disease, which is the disease that I have. This is all the print media that I had gained over the years. You know, when I traveled in my motorhome with my wonderful Dalmatian Max. He was a really great dog and everything, but Coachman RV, etc. People, like, they loaned us motorhomes and everything. Anyway, I can show you, go on forever. But a lot of people even say I make that up. So anyway, here's this is just my media of all the 140 different media hits. I have 3 hours of airtime. But anyway, I traveled the country as a poster child for the disease that I'm now being put on a kidney transplant waiting list. It's an 8 to 10 year wait. And so I now dedicate my time to doing animal welfare activism, because most people say they fear for my life, and let's face it, I can't fear for mine because I'm already dying. But anyway, that's my joke all the time. But what I want to draw your attention to is we've kind of another rally coming up October the 8th. I want you to have a little bit of background, because I know people say that they want a more condensed version, but you cannot condense what's going on in America with these animals. October the 8th is our next rally, and I'm excited to say we have some big groups that have joined us. The Animal Advocates for Justice groups have joined us, and that's Animals, the number 4 Justice is the group that has joined us. And Donna Early's done a wonderful, great, phenomenal video that just covers all aspects of animal welfare that I have on my wall that you can share, and it promotes showing 2 groups that are in all 50 states have merged to rally on one day, and now we have other big groups that are starting to get it going, oh wow, we should join them too, and they're joining in. So what I'm doing today is I'm trying to reach out to all the groups across this country and make them see that the power that we could have in numbers if we all united as one day, because the goal is to mimic like back in the 80s when they did Hands Across America, when they all held hands and created a human link. But we want to do the same, but with rallies, to where in this election year and even beyond, where we get in the habit of them seeing us take to the streets, to where they know we have the power, we are the voters, and we have educated. We're not going to vote just blind party lines. We're going to vote out anybody with low scores. And if we have to jump party lines, we're going to do it. And but I wanted to make it clear that, you know, if you say, hey, I'm in PAWS, well, let's do this, that doesn't mean that you've merged with PAWS. That does not mean you have become PAWS, because PAWS is an umbrella of a movement trying to mimic this Hands Across America from the 80s, whereby everybody unites as one for one day to show the power in numbers. Like, remember the Million Man March? Imagine if we could get 1 million people in little towns all the way from coast to coast, from California to Oklahoma to Texas to Tennessee to Florida to Arkansas to Alabama to Georgia, to where the media is going, we don't know what's going on, but all we know is that citizens across America are taking to the streets, and they all have a common theme saying that they're holding their votes hostage for animal welfare candidates only. Looks like we're seeing signs in people's front yards saying we're voting animal welfare friendly only. So I think that what America is trying to say is that they are sick and tired of seeing animal cruelty and abuse and weak laws, and that animal welfare is going to become a talking point of these elections, because this is unacceptable. This man right here, Senator Steve King, is unacceptable. This man wants to strip animals of all rights, period, to where they have none, so that the factory farmers and the pig farmers and those guys can abuse freely because it's cheaper. Senator Steve King of Iowa, shame on you. He was he led the charge on the King's Amendment, and they tried to attach him to the Farm Bill, and that would make me and you criminals if we went undercover to get the evidence against farmers and ranchers, etc. And they tried to pass him in many states. In Idaho, they did pass him. A woman became a victim of it as soon as she pulled over to videotape a downer cow. The police showed up, cuffed her, and took her in. Went all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled the ag-gag bills, which was initially the King's Amendment, because all the other bills use the same, almost similar language of what he drafted the first time, who started all this ag-gag nightmare. This man, Senator Steve King, the same one who says, if humans can fight, why can't dogs? That's how little concern he has for animal welfare. But you guys in Iowa just voted him back in as your Republican nominee because you didn't educate. And if this man gets back into office, animals in Iowa are going to suffer. You got puppy mills all over that place. You've got deplorable conditions. And you know what? Here's why. You didn't educate. You let Senator Steve King back in. And then I haven't looked at all the people in Iowa, but I would assume that you've got probably a lot of other Republicans with low scores. But anyway, but this is the petition right here. Senator Steve King, if you're watching, 41,000 people signed, and they want you out of office. These people from all over the place. Now we just need to get the Iowa people to want you out of office so that you don't get voted in November. We need this man, Senator Death to Animals, out. So SOS Iowa, get him out. He is a very strong, powerful man in Congress against animals, and we need to get Senator King out of office. We have an Iowa PAWS Across America group, and you need to get involved and do anything you can to help them take that message to the street, to the voters before November election. He has to be gone, as do any elected officials that you go. When you go to your page and you find that they vote against animals, you need to vote them out. And I wanted to just make it clear to everybody that it's not that hard to do these rallies. Everybody goes, well, I don't have time. I don't know how to do one. That's a PAWS Across America set up kind of as a tutorial. You can go to the main PAWS Across America group, and we invite you to join, and please add your friends, so we have a lot of people in there. And then you can read the About section. It tells you a little step-by-step guide of, if you want to have a rally, you have to ask permission to be there. There's little rules. You need to go, how many people can be there? Can we stand on the sidewalk? Can we do this? And you just ask them. And then all you've got to do is set up your signs and everything. And, it's not that big. The first time you do it, it's a little bit of a hassle to do your signs. But once you get them done, they're so much fun. I just want to share these with you because we worked really hard. This is myself and Jennifer Kennedy. And these are our little table that we set up at the state capitol in Sacramento. And you see it's a 3-part poster board. And we took a lot of the graphics that Jennifer Kennedy has done, which are great, and we just printed them and just cut them up and pasted them on there with the Humane Society scorecard. And any issues that meant something to us, like on ours, how to vote for animals, we have the Humane Society scorecard. We wanted to stop factory farming, get dogs off chains in southern states all over the country. We want to stop dog fighting, we want to stop BSL. We put it all here. And then we just went out there and stood in front of our Capitol, and you would be amazed at how many people came up to our table. It was very touching. And you will walk away feeling rewarded and happy because when you get away from the Facebook crowd and you go out to the real people, you see that there are people that care, but they don't know what we need to tell them. You need to tell them to educate before voting before November. You need to get more people. But anyway, you just make your signs, and get out there and do it. And anyway, I'm excited to know we have several groups that are getting it. Donna Early's groups, the Advocates for Animal Justice, you know what I mean? They're in all 50 states. Join them. They're a great group. They're motivated. They're on board with PAWS Across America wholeheartedly. She did a great, phenomenal video that covers every aspect of animal welfare. Well, we had to leave out a few because it would have been an hour-long video. But it was because it's so long. I said, well, there's so much animal abuse. And that's sad. I'm laughing, but that is not funny at all. But it is when you're like somebody tells you to give a condensed version of something because there's so much horror going on with these animals. You can't do it in 5 to 7 minutes. So sometimes they seem to drag on. But anyway, these are critical things. And I just want to let you know. And also, October the 8th is the next rally. We're asking all groups, SOS across America, unite, hold hands with other groups, become one on one day. It does not mean you support their views with other. You know, you can stand there talking about be there for BSL, for the no-kill shelter, for dog fighting, for stopping the Chinese dog meat trade. You know, we need all of you guys on the day that we step to the streets, October the 8th on a Saturday, everybody to be together and one place. If you're in the same city, I'll try and get together. But if not, if you're broken and fragmented, whatever, just go live on Facebook, put it on Facebook, try and call, you know, let the TV stations know you're going to be there. Do it in your front yard with your kids. Do it wherever. Do it at the community center, at your trailer park, wherever you can be. Just get out there and educate people and let them know that animals cannot do this. They are tied to trees. They are chained. They're in kennels. They're being forced to fight. They're being neglected. They're being starved. They're being, you know, I don't need to go any further. It's horrifying what we're seeing. We shouldn't even have to see this. But you know what? It is lawmakers like this that don't care that we see it. And I've seen enough horror to where, as far as I'm concerned, this man right here, Senator Steve King, this man, to me, he's no better than a dog fighter. But he has a name, he has a senator in front of him. And people were upset with this "you sign" people saying this is a fake petition, and that's why you see it in my hands, because I'm not going to go around screaming, "You sign is fake, you sign is fake, you sign is fake." I'm going to say, "You sign, give me the petition. I'm going to send it myself." They complied. So here it is, 963 pages of the fake "you sign" petition. It was not fake. It never was fake. You know what I mean? But if you think it's fake, then you ask them if you can take possession of it and send it to the proper targets that you think it needs to go to, just as I did. And this cost me about $150 to print this petition, this "you sign" fake petition that has 41,000 real people on it. That's why I was, you know, getting upset with you people trying to slam me for trying to get this petition. But I got it. And I also got the one on Donald Trump's son's trophy hunting, where everybody's trying to call me a liar on that one too. But I have that petition also that needs to be sent, because Donald Trump is potentially running to be president of the United States of America, and he has sons that love to go out and kill endangered species just for sport. And he also stated he was going to do away with the Endangered Species Act whenever I saw it on TV, and I have been called a liar, I've been slandered, I've been told I'm a lefty, I've been told all kinds of things. I'm ignorant, I'm stupid, I'm dumb after I made that statement. When amazingly I have people that think I do great things until I say Donald Trump stated he was going to do away with the Endangered Species Act. But if you will note and go to the Humane Society scorecard, so do most of the other Republicans in the United States of America. They all have X's on the Endangered Species Act. So why would I lie about another Republican being against the Endangered Species Act when it's a traditional position of most Republicans in the United States of America, and you guys are voting them in? And without the Endangered Species Act, do you think the animals are going to thrive? No. My own representative, Tom McClintock, wrote me a letter back. "Oh no, the Endangered Species Act needs to be done away with because they never take animals off, they just put them on." He also doesn't think the wild horses need to be protected. He's my Republican Tea Party representative in El Dorado County. My other one, Frank Bigelow, he is a Republican candidate in El Dorado County in Northern California, was a co-sponsor of the Daily Ag Gag Bill, and he consistently votes anti-animal, as does Tom McClintock. And they're both Republicans, and that is not me slamming a party, that is me saying these are my reps, and every time I ask them to help the animals, they refuse. And so, I invite all of you, educate before you go to the polls on November and vote how they voted for animals, or you are going to hurt animals. And if you love them, if you're a rescuer, you can take a moment and go to www.hslf.org and see how they voted in the past. And there's other things, apps like called Vote Smart, you can download for current legislation on animal welfare and see how they're doing and faring on that. But it is critical You guys are voting back into office the evil. They're making these animals suffer over and over and over and over again, creating this vicious cycle we cannot rescue our way out of. Anyway, I could go on, and I have a lot of videos on YouTube at the Animal Welfare Media Lady that cover all the things that I discuss, even action alerts on Senate Bill S-388 and H.R. 746, which are stalled in Kentucky. No question why that's happening, because it's one of the worst states for animal welfare in the United States of America, and that's home of Senator Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul. They should be ashamed of themselves of the horrors that animals suffer in their state. But again, they don't care, just to be honest with you. And I'm not slandering Republicans at all, because there's some good ones out there. There's like needles and haystacks to find as far as animal welfare goes. So traditionally it is the Democrats that have the better scores. Like even in this presidential election, just to give you a real quick run by, Ted Cruz of Texas has a score of 0. Marco Rubio, who was of Florida, has a score of 0. Kasich, we didn't have any voting scores because he was a governor, but in his state, you know, bestiality and rape of a dog is still legal. They have a lot of puppy mills, and you know, we know it's pretty bad for animals in Ohio, so I wouldn't say he's getting an A+ rating, and he would probably follow traditional lines, as do most of the Republicans, voting for horse slaughter and you know, doing away with Endangered Species Act, voting against, they vote against stopping trophy hunting. They vote against stopping the ivory trade. I mean, why would they do that? But they do it, and you're voting them in. But anyway, so he probably would follow that more traditional line that Republican candidates do. And then we had Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders maintained 100 plus, phenomenally great score on the Humane Society scorecard for many, all the years he's been in the Senate. Great, strong animal advocate. And then also, as did Hillary Clinton, she maintained like high scores, like 100, 89, 90 to 100, depending upon what year. Sometimes they're off because they miss a vote or something. But she maintained high scores on the Humane Society scorecard while she was in the Senate, as did Bernie Sanders. But now Bernie Sanders has now left the race, and we're now down to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So you have 2 choices for president. Not that the president are going to affect your state laws. So these guys in here, your federal and your state reps, are the most critical people to get into office. And most importantly, too, you have to realize you've got to go all the way down to the city council and your board of supervisors, your city manager, and even your judges. I just saw a post in Alabama where they were saying, you know, we have great laws here, they're just not enforcing them, and you know, they're not doing anything. I said, excuse me, you know, I went and looked and pulled up the Humane Society scorecard, and it shows they have all Republicans with scores of 0, and a couple with scores of like 33, I think, and there was even Democrats there have low scores, because traditionally that's the case. Democrats have the higher scores unless they're in highly rural areas and or in the deep south, and then they will vote typically the same way as a Republican will. And if they got bad scores, get them out. This isn't about parties. This is about, you got a bad score, get them out. Vote in the ones with good scores. But anyway, and if we all start doing that, then all of a sudden, Georgia, you may not have all Republicans with 0s to 22, with only 2 Democrats who have an 89 and 100. You maybe have 50% Democrats, 50% Republicans, to give the animals a fighting chance in your state. That's all we're asking for. And I'm not asking for you, you know, to do anything like, I don't know, I guess I am. I'm asking you to open your mind to the possibility that is it more important to have a gun on your hip at Starbucks, or is it more important to help the animals and try and rescue your way out of the nightmare that you just voted in? So I guess that's what I am saying. And some people call me a lefty or whatever, and they don't understand that I'm only speaking, I will not slander or endorse any candidates. I only speak from what I learn through my resources based upon their voting patterns. So you can call me a liar, you can call me whatever you want, but the facts speak for themselves. The voting history is there, and if it makes you feel better when you go to the polls and you don't educate, you just want to vote blind party lines and go, I've been a Republican all my life, then more power to you, but you're not going to be helping the animals, you're going to be harming them. And that's what the basis of all this is about. And anyway, we're having our next rally on October the 8th. And my views on PAWS are just my views. But the other groups that are going to be joining us, they have their own different agendas. They may be there representing a slew of different things. And that's what it's all about, is we're about educating about voting, but the other groups that are going to join us may be fighting for BSL, for stopping change, you name it. If you can harm an animal, they're going to have a sign out there and a person standing on the sidewalk to fix it. And that's the goal. And if any of you don't know how to do it, you can go to PAWS Across America, our main group, or Animals for Advocacy, their main group. But in PAWS Across America, Jennifer Kennedy, which is my co-founder, K-A-N-A-D-Y, she is Pawsome, I always love to say. She's online a lot, and she's very helpful. And she can get you up and running. And if you read the About section, it will give you all the steps on how to do it. And it's pretty easy. And I am not sure, but I will make sure again I show you this beautiful signs that me and Jennifer Kennedy worked on, just to show you that it's, once you do it, it's very rewarding. And these are once again the signs. You can all get an idea. And you know, Jennifer has links to all this where we made our signs, and most of them we took from her graphics that she made, and that we just you know, cut and paste them and put them on the board. And once your boards and your signs are made, they're made. You just put them in the closet and pull them out for the next rally, and maybe add a new one. But anyway, we had our June 15th rally, and our next one's going to be October the 8th on the Saturday, so we hope that everybody can attend. And we hope that all groups will merge as one, and even if we don't know, you don't ever talk to us, just do it on October the 8th. Do it in your front yard, do it at your street corner, do it with others, find your groups. And we have, one other exciting thing is we've got a lot of the northeastern states, Rhode Island and New Jersey. We're hoping for the eastern tip of Pennsylvania and all those guys to converge on New York City, Columbus Circle on October the 8th. And what they're trying to do is get everybody. We have the New York ACC Reform Group, as they're all merging with the PAWS groups, and other groups are getting this now, and they're coming from upstate New York and everywhere, and they're all going to New York City, Central Park, to Columbus Circle on October the 8th. So the goal is, we hope they have to shut down the streets because there's going to be thousands of people. And so if you're anywhere near New York City, please mark your calendar now, October the 8th, Saturday, and go there and be there, and let them see a sea of bodies, to where they will see us, they will hear us, and they will know that we have the power because we are the voters. And I implore all of you, please go to the main group of PAWS Across America, add your friends, share the post. We have great t-shirts that Donna Quinn of our New York group, New York PAWS group, she just designed. It was her first graphics thing, and I fell in love with it, and we decided to make it our theme shirt for PAWS Across America, because it shows a pit bull, which gets the worst rap of them all, with a tear in his eye saying, "You don't have a right to hurt me." And it says, PAWS Across America, all 50 states pledge to vote animal welfare-friendly candidates only, and the dog asks, "Please." And that's what every animal across this country is asking you, to please. Don't vote blind party lines. Go and educate. And if you've got a Republican voting with high scores for animals, oh, please keep him. And or if you've got a Democrat voting with low scores, please get rid of them. This isn't about a party line. And I do want people to understand that Donald Trump has no history, and so you need to really think wisely and dig into your heart and think, if he does away with the Endangered Species Act, like I saw him on TV state, which everybody calls me a liar, and they slandered me, attacked me because I was not able to rewind and record it, and I could not provide a video link. But if that's all we know about him, and his children are, you know, shooting endangered species, and they have petitions against his children, and he's saying he wants to do away with the Endangered Species Act, which is where all the X's are, because most of the other Republicans in the country agree with him, then I obviously didn't lie. It's a Republican point of view. And so anyway, this is why you need to educate, especially if you're a Republican. You need to search your heart. I'm seeing it all over the place where they're going, "I'm no longer a Republican, I'm now an independent." And God bless those people, because you get it. And God bless the groups that have gotten that PAWS Across America is an umbrella that we all need to stand under, so we can be a sea of bodies across America on any day we rally. We did June 15th, and now we're doing October the 8th, and hopefully this will carry forward. And this will give every one of you a place to express how you feel, and you will be able to step out into the streets with others and stand beside you. Even though we're all different groups, we're all one. We want to help the animals in our own way. And so stand beside PAWS and represent BSL or New York ACC, or, you know, get the dogs off the chains in the South. Because those southern states, we are California, and they know better than to even attempt to say the things they say down south, because of the fact that we will take to the streets and we will make our voice heard. And until citizens, especially down in the South, I'm seeing nobody interested in rallying in the South, and they wonder why their animals suffer. I am calling SOS on all southern states, all the way from Texas all the way to Georgia and the Carolinas. You have got to make your signs. You have got to take to the streets or your animals are going to suffer. And especially if you just go to the polls and you do not educate, then you will have to have it on your shoulders right here that you contributed to the animal cruelty in your community. And when you drive by and see that dog on a chain and those starving dogs in that backyard over there in Georgia and Alabama, then you will know that you participated in letting it happen because you did not go here. And if you really do care, you'll get out there and you'll get a rally going. And even if it's you and 2 people, it doesn't matter. You can still make flyers. Sometimes we had people with 2 or 3 people, but they passed out 500 flyers. Okay, that's powerful. That's 500 people reach with a piece of paper. You can have one person pass out flyers. It doesn't have to be an army, but it takes you. You have to be motivated to get off your couch and sign off your computer and go do something instead of get on Facebook and yell. So anyway, we need you. And go get your rally going, get your t-shirt, and let's get going. And every group out there, we look forward to having hundreds of groups saying, hey, we're in. And when you drop into PAWS Across America, you're actually advertising because all the other people that follow PAWS Across America will now follow your group, so you will gain followers by joining PAWS Across America. We are not a group, we are a movement, we are a crusade trying to create a human link where we hold hands across America. Anyway, God bless all the rescuers. I love you. And just so you know, if anybody's wondering who I am, I'm just that sick lady who traveled the country as the poster child for polycystic kidney disease with my beautiful rescue Dalmatian Max. They loaned me a $100,000 motorhome, Coachman did, because my dog matched their logo, and we traveled to USA to try and reach the 500,000 people in the United States of America that have genetic polycystic kidney disease that took my father's life, and that is now taking mine. So you will not see me online all the time. I do my best, and I apologize when I'm not online, but I'm always available via phone call. And Jennifer Kennedy, K-A-N-A-D-Y, she's my co-founder. She's always available online most of the time. And so we're both here to help you, and you can go to my YouTube channel and just Google on YouTube, Animal Welfare Media Lady, and watch a lot of my videos, right? Those alone, people say they grab a tablet and a pen and they take notes. And I'll tell you about bills right now, Senate Bill S-388, H.R. 746, that are critical bills that are stalled right now that can change the face of animal welfare and create a solution to stop this suffering. But none of this can happen if you just sit behind your computers on Facebook and post. We've got to stop just doing that. We need to get out into the streets so they see us, so that they fear us. We are the voters, because we do have the power. This is an election year. This rally on October the 8th is the most important thing that you should be even thinking about right now, because there's only weeks to go. So right now, start making your signs, and just go. You can go to PAWS Across America main group, go look at all the pictures, and you can just print all the graphics that Jennifer Kennedy has done. Just print them out and stick them on poster board, and there's your sign. You don't even have to make them. You've got all her great graphics, and then just, you know, go stand on the street corners, be wherever you need to be, but just make sure you're seen. Call the TV stations and saying, we're going to be at our local park, and we're standing up for animal welfare. And anyway, God bless, love you, and sorry to have gone on, but obviously there's a lot going on here. And whatever, you don't forget, SOS Iowa. Get this man out of office. And I will be getting this petition out if it doesn't break the mailman's back, because it is so imperative that people understand, when you vote in this man as your nominee in Iowa, you've just voted in evil to animals across the country. And we must stop this behavior, because we cannot rescue our way out of how people are voting and anti-animal legislators in on blind party lines. And I will say it until I drop. But anyway, the animals are dying, waiting for all of you to get it. And the groups are starting to understand that we need to all merge as one, but that doesn't mean they're PAWS Across America. That means they are who they are, and they have united as one for one cause, to be a sea of bodies across the United States of America on October the 8th. And then we'll probably do it again in June of next year. You know, we'll pick different dates, so just follow the PAWS Across America page and see when these rallies take place and get involved. And animals will thank you for it, because they're tied to trees, they're in kennels, and they're suffering. They're being put to sleep by the hundreds in shelters across this country. And you all know how horrible it is. In El Paso, they kill hundreds every day, and they need our help. And our help is great to share their post and save them and rescue them. But it would really be great if everybody could try and get some animal welfare candidates in, so that we don't have to help them after the fact, after the suffering and all the pain has happened. And then we have to dedicate our lives to becoming the rescue people and not having a life. We can change this by who we put into office and demanding stronger laws. So I don't know, if you're with me, let's change these laws and let's get off of our rumps, off of these couches, and start making some signs and get your kids to participate. The kids love it. They're out there, put honk for no kill, you know what I mean? And then when the TV stations show up, they can't even hear you talking because everybody's honking. It's very powerful. That's what Patty Chavez did in El Paso. So my hats are off to the team leaders who made it happen in June, and I'm excited to see the energy behind all the people that are getting excited about October the 8th. And don't forget, we have t-shirts on sale. Go to the main PAWS, go to my Facebook page, Cecilia, MAIDA, El Dorado Hills. We have the links to Booster right there to order your t-shirt, and get ready for the rally. And the deadline for ordering t-shirts is September 18th, and I love all of you rescuers, and God bless you, and may we have a sea of bodies taken to the streets to where the media is going to go, we don't know what's happening in America, but they're going to the streets everywhere. Imagine what that would mean for the animals, and we can make this happen. And so get your group, get your family, get your church group, anybody, just get them involved, because the animals need a voice. Silence is killing them. God bless.